Hello, 7th grade. This is Thursday morning, or maybe you'll watch this Wednesday evening to study for your test. And so I'll let that up to you, but I'm going to go over just a little bit on your test, give you a little bit of a review, what you guys need to remember, make sure you know. One thing you're going to need to know is the formula for teaspoons to milliliters. Teaspoons to milliliters. The formula for kilograms to pounds. How many pounds are in a kilogram? You're going to need to know the formula for distance. You're going to need to know how to do this. Remember this, when a number has an exponent, this does not mean 5 times 2. This means 5 times 5. The number times itself, okay? So if it's 5 to the 3rd power, this means 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, remember that. Also, you need to know the percentages for the 8s and the 6s. Make sure you know that. You're also going to have a chart where you have to figure the operating costs. And you guys have one of those on page 67, number 36. And if you follow those closely, they'll tell you about rounding. And it tells you where to multiply, where to divide. It tells you all of that. Just make sure, most of the time you guys forget the rounding. Just follow their directions and on the rounding. You are going to have a table of values like you have on page 66, number 26. Okay? On page 66, they had Lucy can type 20 words per minute. So 1 minute equals 20 words. You have something similar to that on your test. Something is going to equal something else. And then you'll fill in the little chart and you'll plot the points. You guys usually do good on those. You have a Venn diagram. And it'll be, you have some of those also on page 66, 27 and 28. You have a Venn diagram on your test. You'll need to make sure you know how to do that. You also have a word problem using the distance formula. You'll need to know how to do that. You had one of those on page 65, number 18. And that was minutes. And that one you needed to put 40 over 60. When you have minutes, you need to do it like that. You are going to, you have a circle kind of like on page 65. At the bottom of the page you have something like that where you will be filling in a blank. You also will have some where you have to write out the prime factors. And you'll be finding the LCM, or the least common multiple. And you have one of those problems on page 67, number 35. You have 2 problems like that, very similar to that one. You also have some things like on page 68, number 37 to 43, make sure you know some of those. You're going to be needing to know those. You will also have on page 65, numbers 13 to 17, where you have to pick out the ordered pairs. You will have some of those on your test. You will also be dividing and subtracting and adding fractions. The main thing I want you guys to remember in dividing fractions, remember that if you have something like this, just remember what do you do with the bottom fraction. You need to invert. Remember to invert the bottom fraction. Remember to flip this. You will also be solving for an unknown. You guys do very well with those. You will also be multiplying fractions. But you guys usually do very well on those. I don't think the test looks really hard. It looks doable. I'm pretty sure you guys will do well. Just do your corrections. Make sure your corrections are done before you take your test. I want to make sure that you guys understand everything. I will not be looking over your shoulder as you're taking the tests. I cannot tell you if you really bombed a section and you can redo it. I would encourage you to make sure you check your multiplying, your dividing. Check that very well before you finish up. One thing, when you're doing your corrections on your old book, if you have a problem that you want answers for, you want to know the answer after you've corrected and you want to make sure your answer is correct, send me a picture of your problem and I can look on my score key and I can tell you if they are right. Okay? I want to make sure that you guys know how to do everything. All right? I will pray for you. I think you'll do well. See ya.